children, isn't it? Now, every other day of the year, we do not want dark strangers coming into our house. But on this day, we're happy to welcome them in.
Fantastic.
And are you familiar, I'm sure you are, with the practice of first footing?
Well, that's the whole point. You see, it's not Hogmanay. We gather in Hogmanay, that's fine, but that's just a start. But first footing is actually really the thing. So you take a parcel, you take a present, and you go out and you visit your friends and your family, and you haven't... I mean, my aunt had an open house on New Year's Day, so we would have very many people that would come in, people that we didn't know, who heard the singing, who heard the merry, all of that. So yeah, first footing is the thing, and that's what I'll be doing.
Hasn't it got something to do with coal?
Well, coal, yeah, I suppose when people had coal fires and things like that, but it was to bring in heat, warmth, good fortune, so that long may your long reap, as your texter said earlier. That's what it means, really.
Well, you have enlightened us, you've educated us, Gilles. What more could I ask for? So what are you doing this evening, then?
Well, this evening I'm going up to Dundee to bring in the new year with the friends up there, and then I'll come back tomorrow and I will first foot my mother. I will then use 93 and she'll be up for the bells probably, and then I will go various places. We've got a few places that we always go to every year, and then on the 2nd I've got folk coming down here. So we'll have a bit of a party here, and on the 3rd also.
Where exactly is Arbroath in Scotland? I do know it because it's... Yeah, well, I know that's showing great ignorance on my part. I do know the football team Arbroath, but if you said pinpoint it on the map, I might have a bit of difficulty.
Yeah. Okay, so we're about 17 miles north of Dundee on the coast.
Right.
So, yeah, right up on the coast, and it's a beautiful day. It's absolutely freezing. Very frosty, but clear. So a really, really good night to start off the New Year celebrations, actually. Apart from all the weather warnings we've been getting, but we'll just ignore those as well, as we generally do.
Well, have a great time. Thank you very much for gracing my show this morning. That's Gilles in Arbroath. Robert's in East Grinstead. Hello, Robert.
Hello, Ian. Hi. I did do that work as promised. I did a little 3 hours here and there throughout.
Oh, no, you're referring to the call that you made on Christmas Day. Remind us what you were doing.
Well, it was just before Christmas. I'd done about 3 hours work at various service stations and McDonald's with good internet, just doing the writing just for a catalogue. I'm just cataloguing up the work of it. Lovely, but lovely to listen to that lady, really interesting. I've got Scottish ancestry in me as well. But just, taking us back south of Hadrian's Wall, I will just say to you from Sussex, 7 swans are swimming. The New Year just means continuity onto the remaining days of Christmas. And
so what's that got to do with swans?
Well, 5 gold rings. I think it's 7 swans swimming on the 12 days. So there are 12 days of Christmas. Right. And I believe that we're on the 7th.
Oh, so we're on... Oh, I see what you mean.
So we've still got some days to go, and I think that is one of the really lovely things about New Year, is wandering around the city of London. The Christmas decorations are still up and everywhere. I've just been into Crawley Mall, and shame on them, they've taken the decorations down. Yes, it's terrible. And also Haskins Garden Centre, who is a lovely garden centre, by the way, but their Christmas sort of seems to start about sort of end of September and ends on Boxing Day. And I think I've just been chatting to the manager there. I think they would be doing the hotel a big favour over the road by putting some lights back on one of the huge big monuments that it used to have about 5 years ago every year. So, but I like New Year's Day. I very much, and I feel sorry for you and your wish to fix it.
Well, I suppose it's different for everybody, isn't it? I would love to have a great time on New Year's Eve. I remember as children, we'd always go and visit our relations in Blackmore, Essex, and they then moved to Epping. and we'd go for long walks around the farm, and it often snowed in New Year's in those days. It never snowed at Christmas, apart from one year, I think 1969, but often it snowed. And I remember, I think it was the first year the M11 was open, my dad had a Morris Minor pickup truck, and the three children were put in the back under the tarpaulin. And imagine doing that now. You'd be arrested and sent to prison for child abuse. And so we 30 miles in the back of a Morris Minor pickup truck, going to Epping in the snow. Those were the days. Thank you very much, Robert. One of my favourite callers is on the line. You know who it is. It's Sean in concert. Happy New Year, Sean.
All the best for 2026. I tell you what, I'm laughing at the people in Scotland and London, you know, for the prices of beer, right? We're going to pay £2 a pint open concert, right? To the ones in London and Scotland.
Is that subsidised by the taxpayer?
No, it's subsidised by Witherspoons in concert.
Oh, right.
£2 a pint.
Is that every day or just for New Year?
No, all the year long.
How on earth do they make a profit?
There you go now. We're not like Londoners, you know, stupid little children, you know what I mean?
Oh,
we're not like...
I'm not a Londoner, but I'm going to...
50% on your beer.
You can't categorise all Londoners as stuck-up little children. I'm sure there is the odd one that is.
The same, I don't understand how everybody guns to Scotland for New Year. 50% on beer. What the hell's going on in this country?
But there's a lot of tax on beer in England.
Yeah, but it's not in concert, it's not.
The free republic of concert.
I'll tell you what it is, mate. Hey, I don't know. I think you're thick. And the people in concert...
So we're stuck up and we're thick, okay.
Yeah, because if you're paying £8 a pint...
Well, I'm not paying
You're
that.
absolute idiots.
I'm not paying that.
No, but I think...
Because I don't drink.
I know that. Well, that's good. But at the end of the day, cups of tea will be twice the price of what it is in concert.
So is that what you're doing tonight, going down to Wetherspoons?
I'm not going out, mate. I'm waiting for the Celtic Rangers match on Saturday.
And which...
But I tell you what it is, mate. I wish you all the best in the world, but I am laughing at Londoners and Scotland. £2 a pint.
Okay, and so did you have a good Christmas, Sean?
I did, mate. And yourself?
Well, I was working. I've been working for days, so I haven't had much.
I got a load of spelling mistake. I don't know what they think I am. I must think I still don't get a bath.
Well, it is. I mean, if you're going to insult people from London, I mean, maybe I should insult people from Consett and say you all stink in Consett.
We are clever people up here. We don't rip people off up here.
Do you know what I discovered the other day? I discovered the death notice of my great-grandfather who died in Consett in 1929. And it had all the list of all the daily relations that came down from Ayrshire and up from Essex to go to the funeral, which it was quite moving to find that in a way. My sixth cousin, Fiona, sent it to me. She's been doing a lot of research in family history. As I think I've told you before, so my grandfather and great-grandfather came down to Consett in the early part of the 1900s. And worked in the steelworks. So it's a little bit of family history, and I'm going to deliver on that promise one day, Sean, when I come up to
Consett. I'll tell you what it is, mate. Come in the Witherspoons and I'll get you a pint for £2.
I'll have a Pernod Black.
I do wish you all the best, mate, and everybody listeners and all that. Catch yourself on £8 a pint when I'm paying £2.
Well, I think you've made your point there, Sean. Happy New Year. Thank you very much indeed. So how has the way that you celebrated New Year changed? That theory that I posited earlier about maybe COVID has changed the way people think about New Year. Maybe we don't feel that we have to have this forced jollity anymore. I wonder whether that is a thing. 0345 6060 973. It's 11:31 on LBC. Let's get the news headlines from Lottie Morley.
Eurostar says it's hoping to run most of its trains today, but passengers are being told to expect delays. Some were left stranded on services overnight after a big power outage in the Channel Tunnel yesterday. Iran has appointed a new governor to the central bank after the country's currency plummeted, leading to large protests. Demonstrations are entering their fourth day and have spread to outside of Tehran. And forecasters say it could snow across most of the UK in a chilly start to 2026. The Met Office has issued a yellow warning for snow and ice for large parts of England and Wales from midnight. LBC weather, a cold day with some wintry showers in the north, staying dry and sunny elsewhere with highs of 8 degrees.
This is LBC.
I love visiting Mum and Dad, but as they've gotten older, I've worried about leaving them on their own, especially in winter. We visit as often as we can, but they needed more regular help. That's why we're so grateful to Ella, their home instead care professional who lives with them and is always there when she's needed. It means Mum and Dad can stay in the home they love, and it gives us peace of mind to know they're okay when we're not there. For award-winning home care you can trust, visit homeinstead.co.uk.
A safe trip begins with TRIP. Take a road trip with your family, get there safely. Do your trip checks. Drop up on oil and fuel. Test every 2 hours too. Inspect tire pressure and tread. Prepare for the weather ahead. A safe trip begins with TRIP. A safe trip begins with
Think. Do the 4 trip checks before every long journey. National highways.
When you're smiling. Banning Dental Group Clinics. With over 5,000 top-rated Google reviews. Keep on smiling.
Calling all young creatives. It's time to get prepped for the future you want. And where better than Global Academy? Here's Imad, a GCSE student in Year 11.
Alongside my core GCSEs, such as Maths, English and Science, I studied creative subjects such as media, drama, art and design, business and music technology, which are all recognised by the industry.
Global Academy. Apply now and join us in Years 10 or 12. globalacademy.com.
Get that Euro Millions feeling this Friday. 10 UK winners are guaranteed to be millionaires. That's 10 more reasons to celebrate. Not a bad way to start the new year. Euro Millions from the National Lottery. Play on app. Account terms, rules and procedures. Players must be 18 or over.
This is LBC. Message Ian Dale on WhatsApp now on 0345 60 60 973.
11:34. Well, I've had a torrent of messages saying that Sean needs to give his head a shake, basically, because Wetherspoons charge the same for a pint of beer all over the country. There's somebody here saying in Uxbridge it's £1.89 all year round. Other people saying £2.40. But it's not just in concert where you get cheap beer in Wetherspoons, but end of the adverts for Wetherspoons. I think they will have to pay for that sort of thing. James says, loving hearing your thoughts on this debate on New Year's Eve. Ian, I'm 2.5 years clean and sober. On the actual eve of New Year's Eve, I feel a lot less pressure. But to me, it can signify something, a beginning of an era or an end of an era. This year, professionally, will mean something to me as I intend on shaking things up professionally in 2026 in a measured, reflective and calm way. I think you're typical of a lot of people, James, there, that people do reflect on the previous year and then look forward to the next year. I think people do try and make some changes to their lives, whether it's on the health front. I mean, I'm rather sick of people who overindulge over Christmas and New Year and then think, oh, I'll join a gym, and then 3 weeks later they chuck in their gym membership because they haven't got the self-discipline to carry on with it. I wonder whether that's happened to you. How do you celebrate New Year differently to previous times? Is it a bit like Christmas, that as you get older, your habits change at New Year? I think all of us who enjoyed Christmases as children find that they're very different as you get older, and you realise it is actually all about children. And they're not as enjoyable as they used to be. And you can never quite recreate the magic of those childhood Christmases, can you? No matter how much you try. Matt says, Ian, was your alcohol cessation a New Year's resolution? Well, actually, funny enough, that is something I'd forgotten, because the first radio programme I ever appeared on was Giles Blandra's Sunday afternoon show on LBC in 1999. And he would have a panel of people talking about sort of cultural things. And I was on New Year's Eve in 1998, I guess. And he went round the table and said, "What's your New Year's resolution?" And you know that panicky thought you get, I'd literally, my brain has gone completely empty, I can't think of a single thing. So I just blurted out, "I'm going to give up drinking." And I never was a big drinker, partly because I had a very low tolerance for alcohol, 2 vodka and oranges, and I was anybody's basically. And I never drank beer, didn't particularly enjoy wine. I could drink wine socially, but didn't enjoy it. So I said to Giles that I would give up drinking, and I did. And I literally can't remember the last time I had an alcoholic drink. I might have 2 or 3 a year. Various LBC producers over the years have found it very amusing when we go out for a drink one evening, particularly at party conferences, and they kind of like force an alcoholic drink down my throat. Usually WKD Blue, because I'm a classic kind of guy, or a Pernod and Blackcurrant. That was actually, the only alcoholic drink I ever enjoyed. I did have one of those this year. For those of you who've never drunk it, it's liquid aniseed, basically. Eleanor was shaking her head in absolute disgust. Just listen to this one. The first time I ever got drunk was when I was at university, and a friend of mine says, "Right, I'm going to take you out and get you drunk tonight." We went to, what was it called? Was it Ritzy's nightclub in Norwich? I had 11 Pernod Blacks in 2 hours. 11. And obviously got extremely drunk. Went back to my residences and threw up in the toilet. And believe me, if you have a mixture of Pernod and Blackcurrant on a toilet, porcelain toilet, the stain stays there for like 3 weeks. And I then started to think, well, if it stains the toilet for 3 weeks, what does it do to your stomach? Have I got any listeners left, by the way? I'm just inquiring. 0345 6060 973. Eleanor's just put on my screen. No, with about 20 no's. Oh my God. Yes, I know. The revelations that I sometimes reveal on this programme, possibly I should keep to myself. But anyway, right, let's take another couple of texts. I think Christmas was bound for 400 years in Scotland, hence New Year's Eve celebrations. That's from Kev. Yeah, we covered that a little bit earlier. Guess what, Sean? Wetherspoons beer prices are the same all over the country. Laughing at Sean. Linus says, thanks Ian for the Hogmanay. In my student days in Dundee, I used to have a great Hogmanay with my adopted family in Brechin. Bring the tall, dark and handsome first footer with a piece of coal, blessing the family at the turn of the clock. And this is from Jane, who says, I loved your both caller, so informative. I live in Scotland and a lot of my friends and relatives do not celebrate New Year. I decided to have a few friends over for some drinks and some food. I was saying to my colleagues there does seem to be a lot of negativity around New Year. I understand that a lot of people, myself included, reflect and miss loved ones that are no longer here. I think it's important to celebrate life and live well for those no longer here. I also said to friends and colleagues that we are lucky to be employed and live in a peaceful country where a lot of us don't want for anything. From my friends and family point of view, this negative feeling about New Year predated COVID. Well, very interesting perspective there. Let's go to Paul, who is in Bolton. Hello, Paul.
Hi, Ian. I wanted to ring up to stick up for New Year. I also don't think that, I think we like to put the blame on COVID for a lot, but for some people that might be the case, but for other people, I know myself, I was determined to get out and about and doing things again after COVID, and I was actually doing things during COVID because I was allowed to go to support groups and stuff. So I think, yeah, there might be something in what you say, but then there'll be another section of people. I'm sure if I go to many bars on Canal Street tonight, they'll still be packed out and quite stressful to be in, so there'll still be enough people doing it, even if the there's lots of people staying at home, but it actually drives me mad when people say that, oh, I'm not going out New Year, I've got my PJs on, my takeaways, coming and watching telly, and all they've done is moan about the television over Christmas. So I never quite get the logic behind people with things like New Year.
Well, to be fair, and if you were listening to my Christmas Day show, I talked about this. I mean, Christmas television has been absolute sugar, hasn't it?
Well, I mean, if you were going to ask people have they seen half the things they say repeats, I bet they've not seen them in the first place. So it's up to people what they want to watch, but we've got plenty of things we can watch. It's a first world problem in this.
Yeah, but I've been reduced to starting to watch 24 again on ITVX, because the whole 9 series are now on ITVX, and I've got to, I think I've watched 6 episodes of the first series now, which is great, because I first watched it 20 years ago. But I'm thinking, I mean, obviously there are new series on that I could have watched, but generally now I find most TV dramas just a turn off.
Well, I watched a brilliant one called What It Feels Like for a Girl on BBC 3 this year, and most people who watched it thought it was brilliant. It was about Paris Lee's life. I don't know if you caught any.
Oh, no, Paris Lees has been a guest on my programme many times.
Yeah,
I haven't heard of that.
That was a brilliant drama. It's still on BBC iPlayer, but as I say, I just think, to be honest, it's not because I'm on the left side of politics, and really I should be the one moaning about commercialism at Christmas and New Year, and I'm finding a lot of people who probably have more right-wing opinions than me are moaning about the commercialism, and I thought, well, isn't that what capitalism is supposed to be about? Spend all the time,
up to a point. I mean, up to a point. And I mean, I'm rather glad that we don't all do New Year's presents in the way that we do Christmas presents, because that would be almost licensed extortion, wouldn't it?
Well, yeah, and like I say, everyone can do what they want with it. As I've just said to your switchboard, I love having events in our calendar, and it doesn't mean I do a big thing every year for each of them. I especially don't do anything for Valentine's, but I love the fact we start off with Valentine's, we've got Easter, we've got summer events, we've got bonfire night, Halloween. I love them, and I don't feel I have to do them every year, but I just love the fact that they're there and I can dip into them. And if there's times when my life's not up to it, then I don't. And this year I wanted to go out for New Year. I'm not going out in the end, but hopefully next year I will go out again, because I'm not, even though I'm nearly 50, I'm still not hanging me dancing shoes up just yet. You know what I mean? So I just think people should just, and another thing is, as you know yourself, is it was going around social media that a group of people were saying we can't say Christmas and we can't have New Year, then loads of people are saying they're not into Christmas and New Year will suddenly be saying they are into it, and loads of people taking trees down on Boxing Day. I don't even get that. I know that's coming off New Year a bit, but why can't people just embrace like Twixmas, as they call it, a bit between Christmas and New Year, because it's just a more relaxing part, I think. And then January, everyone moans about that, but it's like the 1 month of the year when you don't really have to do anything, isn't it? It's
that is true, mainly because you're feeling so bloated after the sort of exertions of Christmas and the New Year, I suppose. You've got a fan, Paul. My friend Richard has just texted me saying, I'm falling in love with Paul from Bolton. I wish I was going out on Canal Street tonight, but alas, I'm singing. So you haven't pulled it, I'm afraid.
Well, yeah.
But the days get young.
Sorry?
The days get young. Have a good time tonight, Paul. Thank you very much indeed. Glenn says, we have the children and partners over, plus grandchildren, 13 in total. You can't sit round a table with 13. My mother would never have allowed that because it's unlucky. Otherwise, if we go out, my wallet takes a right bashing. Like your previous caller paying £2 a pint, not around here, it isn't. It might be if you go down to the spoons, as I gather young people call it. Amy says, morning Ian, to be honest, I used to be a heavy drinker. I don't drink anymore these days, just happy to wake up sober. The thought of people over drinking turns me off going out, so it's a quiet one for me. Well, I think a lot of people will relate to that, because I think if you do have issues with alcohol, I think Christmas and New Year's is a very, very difficult time for many people. Keep calls coming, 0345 6060 973. It's 11:45.
I'm Nick Ferrari. Thank you for joining me throughout the year on LBC.
It's not a racist at all to have concerns about your children, one of whom's going to secondary school soon.
If not being a racist means my children are subject to being murdered, going about their daily business, I'll quite happily say that I am.
Is there much point continuing this conversation? Because you don't know where a bridge starts, you don't know where it ends, and you don't know how much it costs.
Nigel Farage came up and claimed you had an obsession with him. No, that's not the case. I am deeply concerned about the thought because I think they will toxically divide our... But you mentioned Mr. Farage 5 times. I'm wildly obsessed.
I'll be back in the new year taking your calls on LBC.
Did you know Vets for Pets are
the nation's most trusted vets?
We think that's because they're
locally owned
and locally loved.
Wherever you are,
we've got a vet local to you.
Vets for Pets. We're all for pets. Based on a survey. To verify, search vetsforpets.com/all for pets.
At ulesprosperity.com, you buy the car and we pay you up to £600 per month in rental income. For conditions, visit ulesprosperity.com.
Get that Euro Millions feeling this Friday. 10 UK winners are guaranteed to be millionaires. That's 10 more reasons to celebrate. Not a bad way to start the new year. Euro Millions from the National Lottery. Play on app. Account terms, rules and procedures. Players must be 18 or over.
If you have an M&S online account or a Sparks card, your data may have been exposed in a recent cyber attack. Earlier this year, M&S confirmed a data breach affecting customer information, including personal data. If you've ever shopped online at M&S or used Sparks, you can be entitled to compensation through a group action claim. Check your eligibility today at jointheclaim.com. It's quick, secure and easy to do online at jointheclaim.com.
The following is from TFL.
My name was Luna, like the moon. I was 2 days short of my 17th birthday when I was killed. My killer wasn't a bad man. He'd had a rescue dog called Frank and rang his mum every Sunday. He wasn't a speed freak. He just thought it was okay to go a few miles an hour over the limit. But that was enough to knock me off my bike and kill me.
Speeding injures or kills over 1,000 people in London every year. Slow down. To the Mayor of London and TfL, every journey matters.
Ian Dale on LBC. Listen on your smart speaker. Just say, play LBC.
11:48 on LBC. Ollie says, imagine aliens are watching us from afar. They are now. And suddenly, every 365 days, see us dance and sing, performing some annual ritual because we orbited the sun. I suppose it's possible. I wonder what aliens would make of a game of charades, because that's what a lot of people play. I used to love playing charades at Christmas. I think every family has different traditions around this period, don't they? And one of ours was we would go and visit relations over Christmas and the New Year, and we would play cards with them all, with the parents and the grandparents and the children, and we would have little mini whist drives, which I suspect if you're under the age of 30 you haven't got a clue what I'm talking about. But whist is a sort of a weaker version of bridge, an easy version of bridge. And you have trumps, and you sort of... Well, I'm not going to explain it all now. But it was one of those things that people just did at Christmas time. And my dad would go to whist drives in different villages around the area, maybe 3 or 4 nights a week. And I used to go with him, and from probably about the age of 9. And I used to absolutely love it. And you sometimes have 80, 100 people at these things, and there was always sort of like Christmas turkeys, the main prize at the pre-Christmas whist drive, and tins of biscuits and Quality Street and whatever. And in some ways it was a much simpler time, and that was obviously in the days before computers, in the days before mobile phones. And it was just one of those Christmas traditions which seems to have disappeared now. And I think it's a shame, because I think card games are things that can really do bring families together in a way that some things don't. So we're asking the different ways that New Year celebrations have changed. Why do so many people, it seems, agree with me that they don't like New Year, that there is this jollity that you're supposed to enjoy yourself, so you will enjoy yourself. Well, I don't know about you, but I can't enjoy myself unless it comes naturally. I don't want anybody to tell me that, oh, stop being sort of really sad. I do sometimes get a bit sad and uneasy because it is a time of reflection. It is a time when you think about the previous year. People, and the older you get, the more people that you lose. You tend to go to more funerals and you go to weddings the older you get. So naturally, you think about those that you've lost, particularly if it's someone very, very close to you. I can remember the Christmas after my mother died. I mean, just feeling